Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. Today I decided to make some biryani. Everybody loves biryani and most people just crave biryani all the time. It's one of my favorite. I'm gonna make it and share it with everybody how I make biryani. It's a very simple way to make, so let's get started. Now I have one whole chicken in a bowl, and I already cut the chicken up into desired size and pieces. And I have 1 tablespoon of ginger and 1 tablespoon of garlic in there. Now my favorite masala to use is Shaan Biryani, but you can use whichever masala you prefer. Next goes in 1 cup of yogurt. And now my kids don't like whole spices in rice or biryani. So what I do is I grind the spices and then add it to the chicken, and I like to marinate the chicken for a little bit, maybe 30 minutes, or overnight is even better. So I like to transfer it to a grinder, and I like to grind the masala, but make sure that you take out the plums, dried plums that are in there. Now most of them have 3 or 4 in there, so this one had 4 pieces in there. Take those out because we don't want to grind the pits inside the plums. Okay, so put those in the chicken, and we're gonna grind up the rest of the spices. After grinding it, I'm going to add it to the chicken mixture, and I'm going to give everything a good mix, and then we're gonna set it aside to marinate. I left mine in the fridge overnight, but you can start cooking 30 minutes to an hour after. I'll be using some basmati rice, and I have 3.5 cups of rice there. I'm going to wash them and soak them for about 30 minutes. Here in a pan or a pot, I have 1 cup of oil, and to that I added 3 medium-size sliced onions, and I'm going to use about 4 tomatoes, medium-sized tomatoes. I like to puree my tomatoes, so I'm going to do that and set that aside. In the meantime, I have some water on the stove top boiling. I added about 1.5 tablespoons of salt in there, and I added half a lemon. I squeezed in half a lemon, and I added about a tablespoon of green chilies to the chicken mixture as well. I have the tomatoes already ready, and I have a bunch of mint and cilantro. That's for the garnishing, and when we put it on dum. And then I have some slices of lemon as well. I like to use that. You can use tomatoes, sliced tomatoes as well. Now I'm going to continue to cook the onions, or saute the onions till they are nice golden dark brownish kind of. At this point my water was boiling, and I added the rice to that. Now we are not going to fully cook the rice, okay? So make sure you keep an eye on your rice, and when they are about 75% cooked, then we need to drain the water. Now this is how your onions should look like. I'm going to take a little bit out for garnishing later on, so take as much as you want, and set those aside. Now add your tomatoes to the onions and saute them till the water dries up and the oil starts to separate. Now I have about 3 medium-sized onions cut up into pieces, and I'm going to add those in there and saute those in with the tomatoes for a little bit before I add the chicken in there just for about 3 or 4 minutes, not too long. Now go ahead and add your chicken in there, and now we're going to cook this on high flame till all the yogurt and everything, the moisture from the chicken dries up. And at that point we need to add a little bit of water in there as well to cook the potatoes. Now here I'm going to check on my rice, and as you can see, they're not fully cooked, but they are almost ready. So if yours start to look like that, they're easy to break, but they're not mushy at all. Now go ahead and drain the water from your rice and add some cold water on top to stop the cooking process. And we're going to set those aside while we finish cooking the chicken. Now I have been cooking the chicken on high flame for a while now, and as you can see, the oil has started to separate. At this point I added about half a glass of water in there. You can add more or less, and I'm adding enough to cook the potatoes in there. I also like to squeeze a little bit of lemon in the chicken as well. And now I'm going to let the chicken simmer on medium covered till the potatoes are done. And at this point you can squeeze a little bit of lemon, or you can add vinegar as well. It's up to you. And as you can see, I have a little bit of gravy in there, not too runny. And now my chicken is ready. So let's move on to the next step. So I also like to add a little bit of food color on top. So I have about 1/4 teaspoon of orange food color, and I'm going to add in there about 2 tablespoons of water, and mix it and set that aside. Make sure it is fully dissolved in water. Now I like to add about half of the rice on the bottom of the bigger pan, and make sure your pan is wide. Biryani cooks best if it's a wider pan, wider bottom. And on top of the rice I'm going to add my cooked chicken and potato mixture, so that goes on there next. And after that, just try to spread it to cover all the rice on the bottom. And I'm going to add the lemon slices. You can add some tomatoes at this point too if you like. And then I'm going to add the cilantro and mint, and then cover that with the remaining rice. Now on top, try to spread it and cover all the chicken as best as possible. And on top of that, I'll add the onions and the little bit of cilantro and mint that I had remaining. And now just add a little bit of the food color on top, and make sure you put foil on your lid. And I'm going to put this inside the oven for about 20 minutes at 350. And after about 20 minutes, this is what your biryani should look like. Now when you mixing your biryani or rice, mix it with a very very light hand. Just lift from the side and just move it very very slowly. Now you can see that the rice are not mushy at all, so they came out perfect. Now most people don't use a basmati rice, they like to use sela rice, and the reason for that is because they don't become mushy or break easily. So it's entirely up to you, but my favorite rice to use is basmati rice, and as you can see there, they are not mushy or clumped up together. So there you have it, your perfect biryani is ready. I hope this recipe is helpful, and make it for your loved ones. So let me know if you give it a try, and if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much again for all the new subscribers, and thank you for supporting. See you again with another recipe very, very soon.